Under the dim spotlight of the Tokyo Globe Theatre, Kawashima Noeru of Travis, Japan stands alone, a figure poised between idol fame and the fragile vulnerability of a solo actor, his heart heavy with the lessons of a year-long hiatus that forced him to confront not only his doubts but the true meaning of fortune. Having returned to the stage this November to star in his first solo lead role in Arthur Miller's legendary play The Man Who Had All the Good Fortune, Kawashima reflects on the uncanny parallels between himself and the protagonist, David Beeves, a man blessed with extraordinary luck yet plagued by unease, a character whose successes and failures mirror Kawashima's own journey through pauses, pressures, and the weight of expectation, and as he grips the script in rehearsal, absorbing every nuance, he feels a sense of inevitability, a whisper from fate itself telling him that he alone can carry this story, while the camera traces his thoughtful expressions, the sweat on his brow, and the quiet intensity in his eyes, reminding viewers that luck is not merely a gift but a challenge to be met, a journey that demands reflection, perseverance, and connection. Kawashima's greatest fortune, he admits, is the bond with his fellow Travis Japan members, the shared struggles and triumphs that make each individual victory meaningful, and through flashes of past performances, backstage laughter, and candid moments with his bandmates, we see that his triumphs are inseparable from the people who walk beside him, yet the solo role forces him to confront the self-doubt and pressure that accompany responsibility, to embrace the exhilaration and fear that come with leading a production alone, and to channel that tension into authenticity on stage, drawing the audience into a story of luck, destiny, and human resilience that resonates beyond the theater walls, as he whispers to himself, "I have no choice but to play this role," a statement that feels both personal and universal, inviting viewers to ponder the nature of fortune in their own lives, to consider whether luck is something we earn, something we inherit, or something we recognize only when we are ready to embrace it, while the visuals shift from rehearsal spaces to the empty yet glowing theater, from archival footage of Travis, Japan to intimate close-ups of Kawashima's expressions, building a cinematic narrative that merges biography and performance, culminating in the realization that true luck is found not in accolades or chance alone, but in connection, effort, and the courage to continue even when the path is uncertain, leaving viewers with the emotional resonance of a man who has faced doubt, rediscovered confidence, and emerged with a deeper understanding of himself and his journey, inspiring the audience to reflect, comment, and carry a spark of their own good fortune into the world. Under the soft glow of a single spotlight at the Tokyo Globe Theatre, Kawashima Noeru of Travis, Japan stands quietly, a figure caught between the world of an idol and the delicate, intense life of a solo actor, his heart heavy with the lessons of a year-long hiatus that forced him to confront himself in ways the stage and the camera never demanded, a period of silence that was both frightening and necessary, a pause that revealed the true nature of luck, resilience, and connection. After months away from the public eye, Kawashima returns this November, stepping into his first-ever solo lead role in Arthur Miller's classic play The Man Who Had All the Good Fortune, a story about David Beeves, a man whose life is flooded with fortune so overwhelming that it begins to create unease, a character whose constant triumphs and subtle anxieties echo Kawashima's own experiences, his journey as a performer, and the strange, unpredictable path that has led him to this pivotal moment, and as he flips through the script in rehearsal, absorbing every nuance of Miller's words, every pause, every emotional inflection, he feels a profound inevitability, a sense that fate has placed this role before him because only he can carry the story with the authenticity and depth it demands, while the camera slowly pans across his focused face, capturing the faint tremor in his hands, the flicker of vulnerability in his eyes, the quiet determination that radiates from someone who has lived both under the bright lights of fame and in the shadows of self-doubt. Kawashima reflects on his past, the long journey of Travis Japan's worldwide debut, the struggle and perseverance it took to reach the point where the world noticed them, and the weight of being an artist in a world that celebrates perfection yet often overlooks the quiet moments of fear and doubt, and he recalls the difficult decision to step away during last year's hiatus, a time he describes as both humbling and enlightening. Realizing that luck is not something that merely falls into one's lap but is often a mirror reflecting our readiness, our courage, and our willingness to grow, and through this lens, he now sees that every challenge, every small victory, and every connection he's forged, especially with his bandmates, has shaped the person who stands before the stage today, ready to embody a character who is, in many ways, an exaggerated reflection of himself, even as he prepares to carry an entire production. On his own shoulders, he acknowledges that his greatest fortune is the bond he shares with the members of Travis Japan, the support, camaraderie, and trust that have carried them through debut delays, overseas training, and the uncertainty of a hiatus. And as rehearsal scenes unfold, with slow-motion shots of Kawashima moving across empty stages, reading his lines with intensity, juxtaposed with archival footage of the band laughing backstage, performing under bright lights, and celebrating together after concerts, viewers feel the intricate balance of individual ambition and collective support that defines his story, and Kawashima's words, "I have no choice but to play this role," resonate as both a personal declaration and a universal truth, a reflection of the human struggle to embrace responsibility, overcome fear, and transform pressure into purpose. While visually, the narrative alternates between close-ups of his intense focus, quiet moments of reflection, the glowing theater awaiting its audience, and glimpses of past performances that remind us that even idols are human, navigating their own insecurities and doubts. As he steps further into the character of David Beeves, Kawashima contemplates the nature of fortune itself, questioning whether it is something that can be possessed or simply recognized when it appears, and the parallel to his own life, moments of being overlooked, moments of triumph, the timing of opportunities, the support of his friends, becomes unmistakable, a layered story that merges biography, philosophy, and drama, and as the narrative builds, viewers are drawn into a contemplation of their own lives, asked to consider what luck and fortune mean to them, how connection, persistence, and courage shape the opportunities they are given. While cinematic visuals show Kawashima practicing alone, walking across the stage under empty seats, absorbing the silence before a performance, and then flashing to applause, laughter, and camaraderie from past tours, illustrating that fortune is inseparable from effort, awareness, and the people who stand beside us. In quiet reflection, Kawashima admits that sometimes he fears relying solely on luck, yet he has learned that fortune is not merely chance but also a willingness to trust oneself, to embrace uncertainty, and to continue walking even when the path is unclear, and as he delivers lines from the play, mirrors in his mind the audience's anticipation, the story's emotional crescendos, and the subtle interplay between destiny and choice, all culminating in a revelation that true fortune is not measured by accolades or success alone but by shared experience, growth, and the courage to face oneself. And the final moments of rehearsal, combined with backstage glimpses of Travis Japan laughing, supporting one another, and celebrating small victories, reinforce this truth visually and emotionally, leaving viewers inspired, reflective, and connected to Kawashima's journey, reminded that luck is often a combination of timing, effort, and human bonds, and that sometimes the greatest fortune lies not in what we gain, but in what we recognize, cherish, and carry with us along the way. And as the video closes with him bowing on an empty stage, the lights softening to a warm glow, viewers are invited to reflect on their own good fortune, to consider what moments, people, or choices have shaped their paths, and to leave a comment sharing their thoughts. Because like Kawashima, the audience too is part of a story that blends chance, courage, and connection, proving that fortune is never simply given, it is discovered, nurtured, and shared.